Hey, DCL podcast fans, this is Steve. This is a rebroadcast of the Coffee at the Cove live show, which we did for our Patreon supporters on Facebook earlier this week. It features Katie and Lake from MouseGen. They got off the Disney Dream. They set sail on Friday the 13th, and yes, they survived their sailing and had just a wonderful time. We wanted to bring it out to all of you so that you could listen to it as well. With the ships starting to sail again, with the Magic over in the UK, the Disney Dream out of Port Canaveral. We wanted everybody to kind of hear what the experiences are like. In addition, we talk about Christy going on a sailing today, which is Friday, and unfortunately she's not able to go because her son was exposed to COVID at school, so he's in quarantining. So she's not going on the sailing this week, but she did rebook, and they will be sailing next week on the Disney Dream. So watch for some extra content from her over at her Pack Your Pixie Dust. All of her Instagram and Facebook sites, we will try and post it as well on our Facebook sites and Instagram sites as well. So I hope you enjoy the show. We had a lot of fun talking with Lake and Katie. It's always good to connect with them. And I guess as they say in showbiz, it's time to get on with the show. Enjoy, everybody. Well, good evening, everybody, DCL, Patreon, podcast fans, and everybody else, and welcome back to Coffee at the Cove. And I am excited to say that our guests were at the Cove here just a couple days ago.
Steve, guess what?
What?
The ships are sailing.
They are. I love it. I mean, this week has been just amazing to see everybody that's been able to get on the ships, see your guys' experiences on it and everything else. And I don't know. I know there's a lot of crazy things kind of going on in the world right now, but this kind of warms my heart to see things kind of moving forward a little bit. What do you think, Christy?
It's so exciting. It's like that warm little spot that this little piece of our world is returning, and you just think of the crew that have been waiting to get back on the ships and get back to work, and they have paying customers again, and it's really nice.
Yeah, it was super cool to kind of hear from Megan and kind of her point of view as she got to do the test cruise, but then seeing actual paying customers, getting on and actually experiencing the Disney ships again was really cool. And of course, we need to introduce our guests, which I think everybody, all our Patreon fans know who you guys are, and all of our long-term listeners know as well. But welcome back to the show, Katie and Lake. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Yeah, it's great to be back, actually talking to everyone in person.
And thank you so much for taking over our Instagram, because as Christy was talking about, she's got some big shoes to fill this weekend.
Well, that was mean, Steve. That was mean.
Yeah, no, we had a ton of fun.
It was so much fun doing it. Yeah, anytime we'll go on a cruise and post on the Instagram.
Every time. That's fun. Every time. Every time. That's your job now.
We were driving to some friend's house, and my son was like, because he had Instagram pulled up or something like that. He goes, "Hey, you guys are going live or something like that." And so we pulled it up, and so we were like listening to you guys talk the whole way as we're driving out to our friend's house on Saturday. So it was kind of cool to see some of the comments coming in and everything else. So yeah, thank you once again for doing that. So I guess let's just kind of jump into it. Overall, what was it like being back on the Disney Dream?
Should we start a little bit? I feel like with this live show, but we're gonna actually post it, or are you gonna do the intro and explain it before you post it? Because we kind of just started randomly talking.
No, it's all okay. So, welcome back to the DCL podcast. This is our live show for Patreons, and we'll have a couple of people in bringing up some questions and stuff like that. We brought Lake and Katie on from MouseGen. They were just on the Disney Dream on a 3-day, which left on the 13th, right?
Yep.
Friday the 13th.
The 13th. Yep.
Not so unlucky for us.
No, lucky to be on the ship, and although it was kind of a stormy start, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first day was a little rainy.
It was rainy, but the rain timed itself for us perfectly. Like it started raining as soon as we got under the cover. Like it was great.
Oh,
lucky for us.
We stayed dry.
Well, so we're gonna go over your guys' cruise and talk a little bit about what you guys experienced and everything like that. And I guess I did kind of jump into it, but just overall, what was it like being back on the Disney Dream?
Magical.
It was really, really good. And it felt very familiar, very, almost normal, I would say.
And what was the vibe like, coming into the terminal and just, the other passengers on the ship as well? Was it, I mean, to me, I feel like just that second cruise back that you guys were on, it had to have been super positive, people excited, the cast members excited.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it was just a lot of excitement. People excited to be back, excited to enjoy their familiar or favorite vacation style.
Yeah, we had a lot of conversations with folks about what their last cruise had been and cruises they had rebooked and, stuff to finally get here. And we heard that conversation being had amongst other groups of people too. So I think everyone was kind of on the same wavelength as far as just really being happy to be back.
So let's kind of go into, I guess, just the nuts and bolts of this cruise. When did you guys book this one and who all went with you?
So it was just us two. Sadly, they don't allow dogs. He is off camera here, but he could not join us. And we booked it the day they announced that sailings were
double dip.
We're a double dip, yeah. But we had actually been considering it about that week before, and we kind of had on that hunch, the rumor was it was going to start back the 9th, and we started looking at the 9th and the 13th, and we're like, well, maybe we can make that weekend work. So we had kind of started clearing the schedules, getting the okay from work. And then I woke up that morning, they announced it, and they had made that post at 6 a.m. And I was drinking my coffee at 6:05, and I saw that they changed it to a double dip. And that was some pretty quick money spent.
Yeah. He booked it, and then he woke up and told me that he had booked it, which was brave. But it was good. I agreed.
We had already knew we were going on it at that point.
So go ahead, Chris. Had you guys been on a double dip before? I mean, obviously that's pretty exciting to do that. And they're kind of a rarity, really.
And a weekend double dip, a weekend double dip, I don't think has ever occurred.
Yeah, so no sea days. It's just 2 straight days at Castaway and then back. No, we hadn't done a double dip. We were ready to do the normal 3-day itinerary with Nassau and Castaway, and we probably just would have stayed on the ship at Nassau and kind of treated it like a sea day. But I think that was once we saw that was whoa, this is probably not going to happen too many more times, in the future. Obviously it's happening right now, but we should probably go ahead and jump on that.
Yep.
And going forward, Christy, right now, all of the cruises up until is it into September now are double dips, or how long does it go? Do you know?
It's still into the beginning, I believe, of September.
Okay.
And but the Fantasies cruises, when she starts, are going to be a double dip as well. So
Nice.
I would presume then that, a double dip shorter cruise. I would presume then that the Dream is going to keep being the double dip for a little bit. Question mark.
I get the impression they're really not sure how going to other ports is going to play out. So they're just playing it safe until that works itself out.
Which I think we're all okay with, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all in favor here.
There's plenty of things to do in Castaway, for those 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
once you add that third ship in, though, then you're going to start to see them doing things. Because then at that point, you'd be looking at 6 days of Castaway for them each week. And I don't think that's going to work out.
So you guys jump on, you do the booking without Katie knowing she's sleeping and whatnot. But what else were you able to get the cabin you wanted? And what else could you pre-book before leaving?
Yeah, I feel like you actually announced that you were in an inside cabin. Did I miss that when you were walking into your cabin?
He misspoke.
Okay.
I misspoke, yeah.
I did not catch that until we watched the video, and I was like, that's not an inside cabin. But I figured everyone would figure it out once they saw the window. So
I was like, did you have a guarantee and then you were given that cabin or what?
No.
Okay,
so we did do guarantee ocean view was what we
Okay.
did.
because we had never done an ocean view stateroom anywhere before. So we were like, let's try that out, something new. We loved our cabin. It was
I
really nice.
love that the big pictured window for the ocean view is my favorite ocean view cabin. And I guess I should go back and say what I was talking about was I listened to your first day on YouTube, your Mouse Gen video on YouTube. I watched it. It was so good. And you were like, we booked an inside cabin, then walk in. And so
And it's not an inside.
a
And
big window.
we knew it wasn't inside. That was just us like misspeaking and not even catching it when we said it.
Okay, so that clears that part out, but good. But great cabin. I didn't pay attention. Were you aft or forward or midship?
Forward.
Okay.
9002.
Oh,
is our
so
room
like
number.
an upper deck.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Really close to Cove Cafe.
Which is perfect for you. Hey, side note, do you usually get a latte then when you're at the Cove Cafe?
I got cappuccinos. All of the
okay.
pictures that you saw with like the thing printed, those were all cappuccinos. In the past, I don't remember them just doing that for free. Maybe they did, but I didn't pay for that. They were just doing that every time.
Every time too.
And
yeah.
that was foam art basically on top of your cappuccino.
The
which was
machine that they put it under. Yeah.
really cute. So what does a cappuccino-ish cost on Disney Cruise Line?
$5. It's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it's like $5 or $6, I think.
Well, I don't know because I get made fun of all the time because I'm the one who like drinks the included coffee, whatever that included coffee might be. Sometimes I'm in concierge, for example, and my included coffee might be a little bit nicer. Sometimes it's the included drip machine on the pool deck. Whatever, I take what it is because I'm usually too frugal to pay for coffee, even though I'll pay.
I have a problem, and it's called I will drink any coffee anywhere it is, no matter how much or how free it is. So I drank the free coffee too.
Yep.
I was just also knocking back 2 cappuccinos a day. So
We filled up 2 of those cards.
Wow, good for you. So you were very caffeinated.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Did they
Still didn't help us stay up late.
No, I'm with you on that. Well, not at waking up at 5:45 in the morning.
Yeah, that was part of why we were drinking so much coffee is because we were trying to, do all the fun evening entertainment because we always fall asleep and we still just fell asleep. We tried. It's not.
I'm in that camp. I'm with you guys. Absolutely with you.
the ship starts rocking at night and you're in the cabin there and it just, man, that bed calls, doesn't it?
Yep.
It is not my fault. The nice captain is rocking you to sleep. What you have to be respectful of the nice captain rocking you to sleep.
So I would just stick it with that. So they still do the cards, the manual cards. There wasn't anything on the app that kept track of that.
Yes, it is the physical card still.
Those
Okay.
like free coffee cards. Yeah. Everything
Yeah,
else was
yeah.
on the app. Yeah.
Okay. How about the beer mug cards? Did they have the beer mug cards? Did you guys notice by any chance?
They did, yeah.
Because we made
Okay.
a friend who had her beer mug card with her all the time, and we saw her using it.
Nice. Yeah. I keep mine in my wallet. It's kind of crazy that I do that. But
You still keep it in your wallet. Why don't you just put it with your packing things?
I don't know, because it would get lost somewhere. I'd be like, okay, I'll never forget. Have you ever done that where it's like, I know I'm going to remember it, and then you can't find it because it's like 6 months later
I
or
would just
COVID.
stick it in your passport. That's where I put all this, like my travel stuff, because I was like, I know I'm gonna have to have my passport. But you may use yours more often than I use mine. So.
Yeah, I have to use mine every time I go through
Yeah.
through the airport. So
Oh, wait,
yeah.
you don't have the you
real?
have to use your passport every time you go through the airport?
It's just easier. Yeah. So we go through a different line than you guys do. So
Yes, you're so fancy. I just
Yeah.
didn't know you still needed a passport to fly from Portland to
No, you just
Orlando or whatever.
no, you just need a passport to get in, go past security is all. So, all right, let's go back a little bit. How about the COVID? I don't want to get too knee deep in this, but what were some of the COVID requirements that you guys had to do before the cruise?
So we're both vaccinated. So we had to upload our vaccine cards to the I've said it so many times in the past few days.
Safe Passage.
Safe Passage, thank you. The Safe Passage website. And that was pretty much the only like thing that we had to do that was COVID specific. You upload it there and then you just wait kind of on bated breath to see if they will accept it. As long as it's a clear picture, it seemed okay. Other than that, that was all the COVID things we had to do. I know Christy's kind of going through this now with like the uploading like test results situation. I think it's kind of similar with like the pictures and whatnot that you have to upload.
Yeah, so for traveling with somebody unvaccinated, whether they're a child or an adult, you also have to upload it is still a picture, I think, or documents. You have to upload your vaccination, or not your vaccination, your testing documents to indicate you don't have COVID. And you do this before the cruise. And then also we will take another COVID test, my son will, at the port.
Yeah. And I guess another difference is with the vaccine, you can upload it like as soon as you have access to that site, whereas the testing has to be like at least no more than 5 days before, I think. But with the vaccine, you also, have to have been vaccinated for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, you have to be fully vaccinated.
Yeah. So
but that
different.
makes it very easy because you get your clear to sail, you're clear to embark, and you're clear to disembark all at once, well before people have even started the headache of doing testing.
Yep. The only other thing that's different and kind of COVID related is that the morning of your sail, they'll send you I got a push notification from the app that our health information survey was like ready for us to take. And only one person in the stateroom has to take it. But it's basically that same thing that you would fill out like on paper at the port that says like, we haven't had any symptoms, we haven't been in contact, we haven't like been required to quarantine by anybody, et cetera, et cetera. And that's all in the app. And they scan to check that you've done that. Like when you get to either the parking
It's like your
lot.
first part of the safe passage process.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So then once you get to the airport, I saw you guys drove and then you parked in the parking garage.
Mm-hmm.
We did. Yep.
And then kind of what's the process for that? So do you go through security first, or how did that work?
So you wait in line and they have someone there who basically just asks you what's your port arrival time. And if you are within your time, he says, all right, they direct you over to your porters. Once you get to a porter line, they take your bags and then a cast member comes over to you and actually will scan your paper to check your port arrival time. If you are good and you're ready to park, they put a little piece of paper in your windshield, and that tells the parking people that you are okay to be pulling into that lot. I guess if not, they would just make you drive around. So you go through there, you pay for parking kind of as normal. There's people sitting there helping you go and get your ticket for that. And then you go through, and the whole like first 2 levels basically of the parking garage are all for like the safe passage process. You can do it all through your car if you're driving. You go, and as soon as you get into the parking garage, that's where they scan your actual check-in information, and that's where they check to see if you did the health and safety screening. And if you didn't, I would assume they'll make you do it right there. And it's like all these like little pull through lines in the parking lot. So it is like a little bit tight in there, especially if you have a bigger car. Just be ready for that. Yeah, be ready. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And there's lots of traffic codes that go in directions that are like counterintuitive to where you normally would be going.
Yes,
that's a little frustrating.
This confused us a little bit. We had to kind of get out of our own heads that you're going in places that say do not enter, and you're going against where the arrows are pointing you. And I guess we're so conditioned not to do that it felt like we were like, is this right? We don't know.
But yeah, so it's kind of 4 steps is how they have it broken down to. That's your check-in. Then you go up to another pull-through, and that's your like first step in safe passage. Everyone will pull up their safe passage app, and you can get a QR code on that. They scan it, and that's also the point where they would give you your testing kit if you require any testing. If you have testing, you are actually directed to a different line, and that's where you will go and you'll prep your test and all of that. And then after you go through that, they'll direct you to parking. If you don't have to do testing, they send you a different direction. That's where all the cones come in, and you can go right up to park and actually get ready to embark then.
Yeah. So I would say like the majority of our check-in time for the cruise like took place in like the parking garage. Once we got out of the parking garage and started walking, like we did not stop walking until we were in the atrium. So that was really nice.
So from there you get your security, and then you go, I know you get your stateroom cards. They're going to be at your door. And I've heard about the circles when you go into the atrium to kind of greet you there. How did it get? I mean, were you guys kind of just, I guess everybody was just kind of flowing through the whole walkway and then up to the atrium, huh?
So they kind of are holding people at certain points through the kind of I want to call it a jetway. I don't know technically what the one attached to a ship is called, but they have like the social distancing markers there. And
Saw that, Christy.
Sorry. And I was muted, and it's a gangway. Just
gangway. Thank
there you go.
Is saying it out loud.
But yeah, very similar to like if you had waited in a queue at Disney when they were like fully embracing the social distancing. There was all the wait here markers, basically.
And they were, because like the people behind us like kind of came up right behind us, and they are actively saying like, "Oh, can you please move back to that line?" Like they are actually enforcing the markers and stuff, which actually felt really nice. But what they're doing is they're kind of queuing you up, and the people with the microphone who announce, they like call you over and they get your name. They wait for the people in front of you to go to their circle. And there's a cast member by like each circle has their own cast member who is like greeting that
you on your circle.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and it's really nice because after you get to your circle, after they do the show, that cast member is then helping you figure out where to go for your muster. Like they're your escort. They'll take you to the elevator or the stairs or whichever direction you're supposed to go. And then they'll go back to, greet the next people. That's how many cast members are there compared to how many guest groups are there. But they are very they tell you which one you go to, spaced out. It's very easy, but it's not crowded. So
I liked it.
Yeah,
I like
it was
the
cool.
new show too. It's very quick and to the point. It doesn't take any extra effort to go to.
Yes, I'm glad you didn't, Christy. I didn't watch any before we went either because I wanted it to be
I would
surprise, so.
I saw that you were going to show that, so I went fast forward because I just want to see it for the first time.
I did the exact same thing from the first cruise.
So
but it's good that you showed it because some people do want to watch it, so it's perfect.
So I asked this question earlier today with somebody that had been on the Magic. Did you guys like that versus the Sail Away Party? I mean, would you want to see this to kind of continue that way, or are you guys big fans of the Sail Away Party?
Are we big fans of the Sail Away Party? I love the song. I'm always up there. We don't get up in the dance party. We're usually up top if we do watch it, and I'm up there singing along with the song. So it's not the same song, spoiler, but
How's the song go? I don't even know. I've never watched the actual Sail Away Party.
Wishes.
No, it's not that one. Although I can
make
sing
her
that
cry.
one. He will make me cry. We are sailing away on a wonderful journey beginning today.
That's the
That's
old
adorable.
one.
Okay, thank you.
That was on the Wonder, I think.
Yeah.
There are multiple ones. That's the one that's
Oh.
always in my head. So
Okay, I love it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
what-
like the new one though. I like that it's very quick and it kind of gets you on your way. But it's still a nice touch
Yeah.
of magic. Like Minnie and Mickey are going to be there for every guest
Yeah.
basically.
I love that.
And it's Captain Mickey and Captain Minnie.
Yeah.
I love that
as
too.
well.
Yeah. So I'm glad. Pretty much everybody we've talked to so far has been pretty happy with that. So I think they're hitting that one out of the park as far as coming up with something different that works for sailing right now. And I'm kind of confused on where we should go with this because we're going to start in the morning, but we're still kind of that first day. What do you guys like to do when you first get on board? Do you guys go up to Cabanas, or were you able to go to the room right away?
Did we go to Cabanas first? I think
Well, we did our they encourage you to go and do your muster right away. You don't
Oh.
have to technically. You have
Yeah.
until 6:00 or something to do it. But it's very quick and very easy now. You basically go to the location and just scan the picture of you being at your muster drill basically.
And then once you scan it, it pops open the video that you're supposed to watch. So we scanned it. We actually went to Cabanas, got lunch, and watched the video.
I love
So it
that. I hope they keep that. I think they will. I think that's something that's got to stay, don't you guys?
I think so. I don't think there's no reason for it to not stay at this point.
The only thing that I would say is not good about it. It's great for guests on every level. The only thing not great about it is it meant that there had to be a cast member stationed at each one of those muster stations for 5 hours. But if that is, something that works in their schedule, then I guess it works. So
Yeah, I probably more changes to come, but I like the direction they're going with it rather than everybody, especially on the Wonder and the Magic, when you had to sit outside there sometimes in the hot sun, depending upon which side of the ship you were on. So, should we go into dinner that night then, Christy, or where should we go from here? Yep, you're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry. What else did you do? What else happened? So you did your muster station, went to Cabanas.
So I think
You
after
got
Cabanas,
coffee.
yes, I think did we get coffee? No, I think we went to our room first to
We
see.
did, yeah.
We were going to just grab our cards off the door because at that point we did not know that you really don't need your cards to buy things on the ship now. They just take your room number. And you just tell it to them and they check your picture. But
I
we
was
did
like,
not know
what
that yet.
otherwise? What is this magical system in which you don't need your card?
Yeah, it's like they just know your number. You tell them their number and it goes to your app and you do tip and everything there. But I think we went to our room to go get our cards and we ran into our stateroom host like in the hallway. We did the whole introducing yourself and whatnot. We asked her and she said our room was ready. She asked us if we had all of our bags and we still needed one. She like literally went and got it for us right away and brought it, which was so nice.
Yep.
Did you travel with carry-on only, or did you bring a full size?
We actually brought 2 suitcases, one really big one that had all of our clothes and stuff. And then we actually brought a little one that had a bunch of our like camera equipment in it.
Okay.
And then, which was really nice because what we ended up doing was on the last day, we put our big one out in the hallway, but we kept the small one to put all of our stuff in. So that worked out really well. We'll probably do that method again. And then we filmed like a room tour that took a little bit of time. And then I think that's when we went to 687.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah. They were doing like a
What was-
trivia. Go ahead.
Sorry. What was the bar vibe? I guess they were doing trivia, so it wasn't like normal. It's not like you would sit and talk to people because other people were doing trivia.
We kind of caught it at the end. It was like the last 5 minutes. So after that, almost everyone cleared out. It was us, the one lady, Joanne, who we made friends with. And then there was one other like couple over by where like the chess tables were.
Yeah. And then a few people kind of came in midway through us sitting there. And I didn't realize till after the fact that the hours for 687 actually said they didn't open until 5 that day, but they obviously were open for trivia. They were waiting on us while we were there. So I don't know if they just weren't really paying attention to that. But I mean, the vibe was good, I would say. It's
positive. We had a good conversation with the cast member as well for quite a while, actually.
Which happened a lot throughout the cruise, was good conversations with cast members. And then we talked to our new friend, Joanne. That was when we talked to her the most about where she lived and her cruise, history and everything. And then I think after that was when we went back and did the live stream in the room, right?
Yeah, it sounds about right because we did it right before we sailed away.
Oh yeah. I remember. That took like an hour, so that was a good way to kill some time.
That was fun though.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, you guys had a lot of questions coming from people, and you guys did an amazing job answering. I mean, you'd only been on the ship for like a couple hours, and you guys had a ton of answers for them already, which is really cool. So, going into dining that night, what was your guys' dining rotation?
We started in Animators.
Yep.
So it was Animators, Enchanted, and then would have been Royal Palace, but we did
Palo dinner.
Palo instead the last night. But Animators was really nice. They still have the Turtle Talk show where he goes to tables and stuff. It was kind of funny because some tables were just like blatantly ignoring him. And then he would just like be like, okay. And then he would just go to a different table. That was fun to watch. But I know I had seen some people ask if that whole thing's interaction still happened, and it does, which is really
I
cool.
have a question too. So it was only 2 restaurants open per night?
Yeah, we didn't realize that
At least we were late seating, and at least for our seating, it was like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like somebody was saying it's like that again this week too.
It might be. And I think it's only for us, I think it was only the second seating where it was 2, because we would, one night we walked by Royal on the way to dinner, and they were like cleaning completely, like folding things, putting them away and whatnot. So I think it might have just been second seating because it looked like they had just been using the restaurant.
That might make sense. So because there's just less people on the ship in general, and then
Yeah.
less people potentially picking second. So yeah, for listeners, there's always 3 restaurants in rotation, but because of the crowd levels, it looks like Disney during some of the seatings and cruises have just been opening up 2 of them per night. So they would rotate with the people. But that does make a difference for people who like to order, for that first night, if you wanted the Enchanted Garden menu and Enchanted Garden wasn't open, they wouldn't be able to get you that menu.
Right.
So that's something to note.
Yeah. And I think it's just you'll have to ask or either that or figure out if it was open or not. So you just expect it when you go. I didn't know that they were closing it, and I actually ordered some stuff from Royal Palace at Animators. But apparently there was no problem because they brought me what I asked for. So
Well, that Animators
but they were
would have
open.
been,
They were
yeah.
they would have been open. But so he did like hesitate. So maybe he was thinking about if they were open or something. I don't know. But
Well, it's good to know.
Yeah.
And you guys said in your YouTube video that the food was very good.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
overall, like.
Yeah, we typically enjoy the food. I mean, every so often, like we'll hit a dud of something we really don't like. I will say this time we did try a lot of new things to us. So and it was like a good experience trying new things. Is there anything that was just like awful? I don't think so.
anything was awful. There were some like meh things, especially on
like
the
your potato soup.
Animators. Yeah. Which I said I wasn't gonna get, and then everyone on the live stream was like, the potato soup. I was like, all right, I'll give it another try. It's like, I'll do it for you guys. And it let me down again.
Yeah. That potato soup sounds so good all the time. Never that good. That's too bad. So do we want to move on to the next day, Steve? Or that evening, I guess. Did you do any entertainment that night?
Yeah. Well, what was the entertainment that first night? Did they have anything scheduled?
Yeah. So that was, they did Beauty and the Beast 2 different nights. That was the only main show that they did, though. We did not go to it because our last sailing was also the Dream, and we saw Beauty and the Beast. So we decided we could skip that.
Did we do anything?
I think we just went to. That was the night that we went to Meridian, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes. But that was before dinner.
Well, the show would have been before dinner, I guess, too.
We did something. Let me check these Instagram highlights on the DCL podcast.
We did go to Meridian that day, but I'm pretty sure we went before dinner because we watched the sunset, and that would have been before dinner. But we did the Sommelier Ben, and we got champagne out of it, and it was very good.
Oh, nice. I love that bar with the views of the water back there. So, and just the whole travel vibe and theme that they have with it. So can't wait to get back there. Christy, do you like the Meridian?
I do. It is
Yeah.
very peaceful. It's almost too peaceful, which is tricky because I really don't like it when it's crazy and loud. But then sometimes there's like no talking, nothing is happening. And you're like, are we allowed to have fun in here?
Yes. Luckily, there was like one other table of people in there. So like we, felt like we could talk and like not just be like the bartender staring at us like while we were talking. Because that's how it usually feels when you're the only ones. But no, it was really good. Did you discover?
So that anything else after dinner did you do?
I feel like we did something. I can't remember what it was, and that would have been when we were at sea, so I didn't have anything posted.
So my youngest son has a question for you guys. Did they do the towel animals in the rooms when you guys got back in the evenings?
They did. Yep, they
Okay.
did towel animals every night for us.
One night we had a bat. One night we had a brontosaurus. There was one other one. An elephant, maybe?
An elephant was the first night. Yeah.
Yeah, those would have been the
Nice.
3 that we had.
I wonder if I could request ahead of time for you to get that bat, Christy. Come back and.
Why would I want that? I don't want a bat.
Kind of that beautiful
No.
Halloween theming.
And
We
another reason not to give you my room number.
Didn't the Boo Bash already start? We're right into Halloween season, Christy.
It
It's
did.
time for the bats to come
There's
out.
been 2, I think, Boo Bash parties.
All right. Well, let's go into the next day. And I think we're going to try to do this just a little bit differently. We'll touch on all the different things and we'll just kind of go through. And you're like, it doesn't have to necessarily have to be specifically what you did the second day, but kind of the things that you like to do. So what do you guys, go
Or
ahead,
we
Christy.
can lump in, like, what did you do in the morning before Castaway? Where did you eat?
Yeah. Well, that's
Things like
that's
that.
where I was kind of going with it.
So the first day we actually ordered room service.
We did like the
Um,
continental delivery,
Yeah.
which is one of our favorite things to do. And they're still doing that the same way. You leave the tag outside the night before. We did have to request like parchment paper and a pen to the room because
We
they're
didn't have a
not
pen.
left in there anymore.
I don't know if that was normal or not, because one thing that we also didn't have, but we saw other rooms have, was a do not disturb sign. So I don't know if maybe some things were just like taken out, or like someone took the pen from the last ship sailing and it didn't get put back. I'm not sure, but we sent a message through the app and they brought us a pen and paper. So that was fine. Room service, when they deliver it, they kind of put a cart in front of your door and stand on the other side of the cart and then like slide the tray towards you, and you get the tray from the cart and then close the door. But everything else about it's the same. That was funny because I was the one who brought that one in. So we had that pretty early. I think that was like 6 a.m. or something. We kind of got up, went up to watch the sunrise, and then grabbed more coffee, because we did get coffee brought to the room. We grabbed more coffee from Cove Cafe, drank
Excellent.
that, and then we went to Cabanas.
Like
for
right when they
for
opened.
second breakfast.
I love the way you guys cruise. This is how I would cruise. I would have first breakfast and second if I had my way. Okay,
It was
I like
nice.
it.
It's like the ship's so quiet in the morning. We watched the sunrise, all of that fun stuff. Pulled into Castaway.
Yeah, I will say I feel like Cabanas still has a lot of options, but maybe not quite as many options. It was more just like standard breakfast, whereas I felt like before they had more kind of like sometimes they would have like rice and veggies and things like that.
Mm.
They didn't have that I saw. Maybe you could request it or something, but
And that was pretty true for lunch and breakfast as well. Some of the more obscure items, I think, are kind of not there anymore.
yeah, just because what they're doing is they're making different stations around. Oops, sorry. They're making different stations around the kind of semicircle that all the stations have the same thing. So you only really go to like one little part and order what you want, and they make your plate for you.
Yeah.
Did they still have the? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did they still have the omelet bar where they make an omelet for you and stuff?
No, they don't have the omelet bar.
Uh,
I will say though,
What?
Cabanas is like peak Pleasant. Like if you were not a Cabanas person, this might like change your mind. You actually like can see the restaurant and appreciate like how pretty it
Yourself
looks.
think,
Because it's
yeah.
not crazy.
Yeah. It was awesome. Like we actually enjoyed Cabanas.
Yeah.
you're not circling endlessly looking for a table.
Right.
Yeah.
You know why I bet on the omelet station? Because people would have to stand in that
Probably.
cluttered, you'd have people cluttering together or whatever, waiting for their omelet. So I assume they had some like pre-made omelet
They
options.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
your
they
basic.
had, I believe, 2 of the main restaurants open for breakfast as well. And I assume if you went there, they probably had a like omelet option or make your own option, and you could ask for them to leave certain things on and off and whatnot if that was
I feel
really
like
like what you wanted.
one day I'm going to have to go to the sit down breakfast so I can have eggs Benedict.
We've done it before.
Have we done sit down breakfast?
Yeah, we have.
Oh, okay. I know we had done lunch. I wasn't sure about breakfast.
Do they
I feel
have
like-
eggs Benedict in the buffet? Sorry, Steve.
That's okay.
Do you remember?
I think one morning they did. It did change up a little bit from morning to morning, and I feel like one morning they did have eggs Benedict there.
Well, then I could actually get it there, and they would have to make mine still in the back, and it would take a bit, but then everybody
It'd be
else could
fresh.
eat. Yes, it'd still be fresh.
So I've seen that from getting on to Castaway, you actually have to get off time or whatever. I'm not sure what they're calling it.
Like a boarding group.
Getting a boarding group. So is it like Rise with Resistance, where everybody's like looking around and like 8:30 is about to hit, and everybody's getting ready to push the button?
It is like that.
Yep.
It looks like that. It says join queue, and that's when you hit it. It gives you a number, tells you how many people are in front of you, gives you estimated time. However, neither of the days did they actually use it. The first day they like instructed us that we were supposed to use it, and then once we actually like docked and they cleared us to go aboard, they were like, apparently our virtual queue isn't working correctly, so you may exit the ship at your leisure. And there was no, like, when we went out, it was probably 15 minutes after they announced it, no one in front of us. Like, it was very,
Very easy to get
Easy.
off. And the second day, they didn't even try.
they didn't even say anything the second day. They're like, we're here. Go ahead.
That's good, I guess.
Yeah.
So did you get off the ship? You got off the ship kind of early then, both days, because the one day you had a tour, right? And then the other day you just, the excitement of it all.
Yes. So the first day was when our tour was supposed to be. They actually moved it that when we got to the ship on embarkation day, we got a push notification that our tour had been moved to the next day. I think they just didn't have a lot of people signed up
And
for
they condensed it to one day.
So the first day we got there, the time ashore was 9 o'clock.
It was
9:30.
9:30. Yeah. Then the other day was 8:30.
Yeah. So I think we went ashore about 9:45. What did we? Oh, we went. We did a lot of pictures and some video. It was very empty when we first went because it was so early. So it was very easy to get lots of pictures.
And we did the bikes right away too.
Yes. So we went and got our bikes. We actually had some really good conversations with the cast members who gave us our bike rentals. So we actually talked to them for 15, 20 minutes. And then we did the bikes all around for an hour, maybe.
Yeah, about that. And they actually gave us like some good information too. Of course, we were saying we thought the capacity or the number of people was about 900. They said it was 1279 on that sailing. Something that was interesting too was they were actually entertainment staff who was manning the bike rentals because they said they're understaffed at Castaway. Usually there's about 50, cast members living on the island. There's only about 20 right now. So they're pulling more lifeguards off the ship. They're pulling more cast off the ship. And then they also said their like stateroom hosts and hostesses and like servers are also not technically understaffed because there's less people, but there's less staffing than there was before.
And they said a big problem with Castaway right now, not a problem, but like a reason why they have to pull so many people off the ship is a lot of the Bahamians who used to work on Castaway are still like quarantined and can't get back. Because whatever province or city they live in is locked down. So that's the reason why things look a little different right now.
So you guys kind of talked us into doing the bike tour. We've never done it before, but watching you guys do it, I think we're going to do that in November when we go. That looked like a lot of fun. And climbing up the tower that Chris talks about that's kind of shaky. You guys survived that as well.
Yeah, it wasn't too windy the day we were there. I have been on it when there's windy because I have a little fear of heights myself. But you get used to it after a little while, I guess. We love the bikes. They're really nice if you frequent Serenity because you can kind of use that to get back there and not have to walk or wait for the tram. And
they're never like strict on the 1 hour time limit. Like they straight told us, like, yeah, just bring them back whenever. And
they never have been. Even on the cruise I went on with my sister that first time, that was like full capacity. They said, we asked, we're like 1 hour, right? And they're like, well, it's 1 hour Bahamian time, so we don't care.
That's
like, okay. So they're really good. One thing to note, there's a rental place at the front of the airstrip area where like the 5K kicks off. And then there's a rental place back in Serenity as well. The second day we were there, the one in Serenity was not open for whatever reason. So don't rely on anything right now.
Did you guys spend most of your... Go ahead.
No, go on.
Did you spend most of your time at Serenity Bay then after the bike tour, or what did you guys do?
We actually didn't this time, just because there wasn't as many people there. We went back up to the family island and actually hung out there because I had never snorkeled and I wanted to go and do that up there and experience that. So we hung out up there and it was fine. There was actually... Serenity Bay was pretty poppin'.
Yeah, it was busier at Serenity Bay than it was at the family beach on the first day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just because Serenity is like, that one little stretch. The family beach is much longer. People were more spread out. It's not like there weren't people there, but
just the size.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so much bigger. Were you able to find Mickey in the submarine?
I found the submarine. It's Minnie, isn't it? The statue.
Minnie. Yeah, Minnie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think I went to all of them. It's definitely a swim to get out there, though. If you're not like a strong swimmer, you're not going to have a good time.
And it's pretty shallow for a long time until you get out to, at least the time we went, I guess.
It's still like that.
Maybe it changes a little bit. Well, it's cool that you found that. So
Did you guys rent those rafts at all? The inner tube or the long blue
Like the
raft?
floats. No, we
Mhm.
haven't done any of that.
Nope.
No.
All right. I really want to know how that worked.
I mean, we saw other people with them. They just had them with them. Honestly, it seems like what they're doing is, they have the equipment in their little shack and you rent it. They give it to you and they just say, like, make sure you put it back in this spot. So I assume they're collecting things and sanitizing them and putting them back. But I mean, it looked, honestly, once we got on to Castaway, it looked like pretty normal as far as activity wise, what people were doing compared to beforehand.
And did you guys go out to the water slide thing? What is
Pelican
that?
plunge?
Pelican, yes.
Did you go do it? I know
We
you talked
didn't
about
get
it.
no, we didn't get to go do it. It was
I'm not
open
a water
though.
slide person. I will never do that.
The smaller one though, on the other side, the like little kitty one, that one was closed.
Oh,
There was like still a lifeguard up there, but he was like, "Yeah, sorry, you can't come out here."
sorry, folks, the park's closed.
That's what I was
The mouse
thinking about.
outside. So yeah. So I missed the tour. What tour did you guys do?
So we did the tour the next day. It was it was like a nature walk and kayak tour.
how was it? Give us details. Because we
That
forget.
was
Really fun.
that was fun, yeah. So you get off the ship, and this is the second day again. But you go and you meet at that Marge's Barges, which is right there when you get off. That's where I think all the tours kind of have
I
their
think that's where
meeting.
they have the list.
What was a little bit weird about that was we like checked in. They're like, "All right, meet us at Serenity Bay." No further instructions there.
I'm sure we could have asked, like, okay, where, but we were just like, oh, okay. and we just left.
We went back, so we took the trams back there. Eventually found another like groups of people who were like, "Oh yeah, we're all here for this tour. Where do we meet?" Probably about 20 or 30 minutes later, the tour guide showed up with like the last couple people in the group, and they said, "Oh, sorry, we were waiting for what ended up being some no-shows." So it was about 9 of us in that tour. But you basically go and you start by walking all the way back along that bike path.
That
And
goes
by the
Serenity
cabanas.
yeah.
And you walk that back, which is like a mile walk. It's pretty long. But the tour guide kind of points out like some of the different natural flora and different plants and such that are there. And they actually take you some of those little areas when you go back there, say like do not enter, like cast only. They take you back through that. And there's just like some picturesque beach areas back there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think they'd say the walking part of the tour is like 45 minutes, which is about right. Because if it's like a mile and you're starting and stopping and strolling and whatnot, it's not a hard or like strenuous walk at all. You can probably do it in flip flops and be fine. And then once you get to the end of the Serenity Bay, there's a little water jug there that we use all the time when we bike, that you can use to like refill a water bottle or anything if you brought that. And then there's another little roped off area they bring you behind, and you go straight back, and there's a little beach there where they have all the kayaks and paddles and whatnot, and you get a life jacket and a kayak.
Yeah, we will note there's also like a lock box there. So you can put personals in that and have it locked on your tour. Not that I think anyone would know to go back there unless they've taken that tour before.
It's pretty private.
But that was something that like we weren't sure about. So we didn't bring anything except for like waters and the GoPro.
Yeah.
Like literally that was it. That was what we walked off the ship with. And
So-
knowing that, we probably would have brought a couple more things.
Yeah, we probably would
Good
have
tip.
like brought things for the day. Like we didn't bring stuff for the rest of the day because we weren't sure if we would have to like bring it in a kayak with us or not.
Yeah.
So so next time, which we probably will do this again, we'll say that we'll know. But
Yeah, so you actually you cast out. They give you very vague directions on how to kayak. So hopefully you can figure out that you put the paddle in the water and you start to row.
Yeah.
Or paddle, whatever. But then they take you back kind of in the
like mangroves.
yeah, in the mangrove patches back behind. If you've ever been on the like the observation deck and you turn around, you see that water and all the mangroves back there. That's where you are. You could see the tower the whole time. You could see the ship the whole time too, just because the ship's so tall and the island's kind of short. But you go through like some really tight, like little thickets in there. Like you can barely put the paddle in the water. But it's like cool.
It was fun.
It's fun, yeah. And
then you kind of get out of that and you're into a bigger, I guess, like lagoon technically. They kind of take you and a bit of a circle, and there's two guides, at least with ours there was, and they're kind of looking out for different like wildlife. Like they were looking for like stingrays and sea turtles and sharks and things to like point out to you in case they come by.
Did they come by?
We
We
saw
did.
a very large stingray, which was very cool.
Yeah, that was towards the end. Right at the beginning, they had found 2 starfish, and they'll take them right out of the water and like pass them around to you, like you were just passing them from kayak to kayak. It was pretty cool. Yeah, they were like big, like true starfish.
I've never seen one like that before. It was really cool. So you kind of paddle around a little bit. I mean, I was, even without seeing like animals, I was just having fun like kayaking. I thought that was really fun. And then they bring you to a shallow area. I think depending on the time of day and year, probably it's either like actual like a sandbar or it's just a shallow. We were there with like shallow water, and they tie the kayaks together and you can get out and kind of wade through and look for other things. Like they found like conch shell, they found sea cucumbers. We saw some like jellyfish. This part of the tour, I wish I had water shoes.
That is probably the biggest tip we can give you, especially if you don't want to be like, you're walking around kind of like wildlife. Like there were jellyfish and stuff in there.
Yeah, and there's like coral, like there's like rocks and things like that. So I wish I had water shoes. A lot of people were.
Go ahead.
Yes.
The rest of the beach. So I don't want to forget. Sometimes the family beach at Castaway is really shelly, and sometimes it's pretty sandy. Are water shoes recommended for the rest of the beach right now, especially for children? Or
I didn't think it was bad when I got in for snorkeling over there.
Okay.
It seemed more sandy than shelly for sure.
I didn't notice anything in particular when I went in, because I went in the family beach water for a little bit too, and I'm really I am particularly sensitive to.
And even walking on the beach, did you feel like that was okay too without shoes on?
I think so, yeah.
Or without water shoes? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so you're actually like out there, you're wading in the water. And it was probably like 30 to 40 minutes that you're kind of just like standing and like sometimes knee to like waist deep water.
Yeah.
It's a long tour.
It is. It's supposed to be, it's marketed as a 3-hour tour.
Oh, right. The 3-hour tour.
When we eventually got
too
started.
Young to understand that, right?
No, it's Gilligan's Island. I got it.
The lake just stared.
Sorry, I was actually reading the comment.
Oh, okay.
It's marketed as a 3-hour tour. It ends up being, I think, a little closer to like 2.5 hours with the delay at the beginning. And then we got back. I know we got back before noon, which would have been 3 hours. So I think it was a little bit shorter than the whole thing, but it was long and it felt long. Like we were, it felt
You're
like
in the sun the whole time. You are not going to be provided any sort of shade.
Yeah.
So definitely wear a hat. Make sure you are layered on your sunscreen.
Yeah.
That might be something you might want to bring on the kayak with you.
Yeah, a spray or a stick maybe. You do like have the opportunity to get in the water though, and you're in the kayak and the water's cool. Like I never felt like I got overheated or anything. But at one point, like a member of our tour group like stopped walking around and went back and like took a nap on the kayak.
They were done.
Yeah. Steve, do you know who asked that question?
Yes,
it's Facebook
it's
user
Liz.
on my end.
Yeah, it's Liz.
Okay. So they asked, were there kids on the kayak? Do you have to be pretty fit or will I pass out because I'm a couch potato? There weren't any kids on ours. However, the kayaks actually have about 4 seats on them. You could not fit 4 adults on it, but there were 3 adults on one of them pretty comfortably. But I think you could definitely fit like 2 kids in those spots.
Is it a 16 or older tour though?
I am not sure.
That would be something to check. And it would say that. I think it might be, but I'm not.
Were you
positive.
on one kayak then?
We
Yes,
were both
we were
on
together.
one kayak. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
they're still
think-
married.
Yeah, we met.
Yeah. It was definitely an active tour. I don't think it was like physically exertive. Hi.
Yeah, you're walking for about 45 minutes in the beginning at a fairly leisurely pace with several stops. So as long as you're okay, walking for 45 minutes, the kayak is not difficult, I would say, at all.
No, I think getting like back to the beach where you started was the hardest part. That's also like kind of the longest stretch of continuous kayaking. but that's because the tide was coming in on us as well, so it was going
Yeah, we were
against
going
us.
against the tide, but I mean, we made it, and we're not like, well, I'm not like a super fit person. He is. He pulled a lot of the weight, but
Says the person who's training for a marathon.
yeah, but I haven't gotten there yet. That's the thing. But if you've ever been in like a canoe, I mean, it's very similar to that exertion level wise, and you're not like, it's not like white water. You know, there's not waves or anything. It's pretty still. So I would definitely suggest it. It's a good
Yeah, it was
tour.
definitely a fun, different thing you can do on Castaway.
One of the couples we were with, it was their 3rd or 4th time doing it. Like they liked it so much that they have come back and done it a lot.
That's
We-
good to know.
We did a kayak tour through the mangroves when we were down in the Keys earlier this summer, and that was really cool to be back in amongst those. And we saw stingrays as well, so kind of a neat way to see some sea life. Anything else about Castaway for your tea days that kind of stuck out to you guys? Anything about the food or whatnot?
We saw a shark after our tour was over
We did see a shark.
from
Wow.
that
Real.
Serenity Bay lookout point, and it was a
It was a good sized shark. Yeah.
5 foot maybe. It was weird, and I was like, that we might have been able to see that on our tour if like
Yeah, if
timing
we
had
were
been
like
right.
still on the kayak a couple minutes later, we probably could have
So
seen
that
it.
was notable. The food was great. At
Very
the
good,
Serenity
yeah.
Bay is where we ate both days. It was different. I was kind of expecting it to be the same. I don't know why, but it was different.
It was
each
like
day.
fairly different too, like different salad, like where they have the pasta salads and stuff. All that was different. They still kind of like, it was like the same kind of format or layout, but like the type of steak that they had at Serenity Bay changed. The like seasoning of the chicken had changed. So the first day, I think it was jerk chicken. The second day it was some other chicken. The veggie option changed as well.
Yeah.
Did-
Very good both days.
Did you notice if cookies 1 and 2 were both open?
Yes.
They were both open. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Good to know.
So your gluten-free area allergy is open.
My allergy area by the boat on Cookies 1. I wonder if the boat's still there. There's this big giant boat where all of our allergy tickets are held behind. So
I
will
think that
report
boat's
back.
still there.
excellent.
I did walk through it a little bit when I was trying to live stream, but that Bahamian internet didn't want to cooperate.
And the kids club is open. Did you
Yes,
look
kids
into
club
that?
was
I mean,
open both
That's
days.
huge. My child is so going to that kids club. I cannot wait to put him there.
Yeah, that was a good surprise. Yeah, because we had just heard that it was going to be closed, so it was great to see it was open.
He has actually not been there yet because typically if we were cruising Disney, my mom would be with us. And so she would say that she was going to do stuff with him on the beach. And then somehow we're still doing all the stuff with him on the beach. And, you know, it would be nice if somebody else was entertaining my son for a tiny bit. And he really likes children. So he'll be excited to go play with kids.
Let's get
Did
back
you
on the ship.
guys- No,
Unless there's something else.
wait.
No.
Did you guys run a 5K at all during this trip?
No, we actually didn't.
It was really hot.
It was very hot, and
We talked
Like-
about it.
Hotter than
And-
Florida? Hot?
Yes.
oh yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah. That second day when I was like going out and trying to live stream and posting, I was like dying.
We saw a
Mm.
lot of other people running though. Like I think I saw more people running this time than I did last time. I think a lot of them may have been cast members, but there were a lot of people out there kind of doing the 5K, or they were walking for the 5K because like we talked to some people and that's what they told us. So people are doing it. We just chose not to do it
There's just too much to do.
with
Not
only
enough
2
time.
real days. Yeah.
And you sign up for that on the app as well. Was that? I think I heard you say that, or was I wrong on that? Or do you even sign up?
I did not. I looked for somewhere to sign up on the app and I could not find it. So I think maybe if you just chat with guest services and ask them, they'll tell you where to go to pick it up. I don't really think they're doing signups. I think it's just honor system.
Here's a medal.
If you want to go pick up the medallion, yeah.
Did you work out in the gym at all to that end? Like
We didn't. We kept planning on it, but I mean, I know we kind of like talked about how that worked, but they did have like vaccinated only times. It was like 3-hour periods, 3 times a day. And it does say when you go and click on that activity, 1, you have to show your actual card. So you have to make sure you bring that with you. And 2, it did say
Oh.
masks were optional.
If you're vaccinated during the fully vaccinated time, you have to wear them kind of between when you arrive and like between machines, but like if you're on the treadmill, you can take it off. We didn't know that until into that first full day. If we had known that, we probably would have gotten up and gone to the 6 a.m. time that morning. But it just, once we had planned out our days, it just like didn't work with what we wanted to do.
The times I thought were a little bit not
I believe
maybe
it was
ideal.
6, 10, and 2. If they had one more in the like evening, that would have been
Or
really nice. but
Even
they-
8 o'clock or something. I don't know. 6, my body's a little
Well,
bit.
you
It
don't have
was
to. You don't have to
3-hour
be there at
periods.
6.
Oh.
Like, it's a
Yeah.
3-hour block of time.
So it does go till 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
So you could show up at 8 and do an hour, which I mean, I think
Yeah.
for most people is a good amount of
Yeah,
time.
I don't even need that long. That's good information because that first day you don't even get to Castaway until a little bit later. So you really
Right.
could
Yeah.
get a run in.
We were getting our pre-lunch drink on Castaway when I saw this information. So
Nice.
Was there any other distinctions with that as far as on the ship, as far as vaccinated versus unvaccinated?
No,
that was
was
just the
it.
one thing. That's the only thing I've heard too, I guess. So, well, we kind of talked about dining. We talked about Castaway. Any other things that you guys did in the evening, since you guys didn't go to see Beauty and the Beast this time? How'd you guys fill your times in the evenings?
that second day is when we saw the fireworks show.
We'll note we only had one day of the fireworks show, but they did 2 showings of it. So they did one during like first seating dining and the other one after. Yes, because we were walking on deck 4 when they were playing like the music to get ready for it.
Oh, cool! I did not know that.
Yes.
So I missed that. But the
What
fireworks show
times
was really
were they
cute.
then?
I think
Ours
it
was
was-
10:30.
Yeah, I think it was like 8:30 and 10:30. So it was like after second seating and then after or during second seating, then after.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So on a 3-day, they do fireworks one day. On a 4-day, it sounds like they do it on 2 different days. At least that's what they did on the 9th sailing, and then
But if they do it at 8:30, that's awesome.
yeah.
It's awesome
Just make-
for us that go to bed early.
Just make sure you don't have that second seating, Christy. You got to get that first seating.
I
Or I'll sneak
already
out.
had waitlisted it and it's already cleared. So just so you know, I have first seating.
I've been up all night thinking about that. Trust me.
I've been up all night thinking about that. Are you
I
kidding?
know.
I was not going to that dining room. I'm like, can I possibly start eating dinner now? Basically, I'd be sitting right now. It's 8:40. You guys have seen me yawn several times. Do you really think I could start to eat my dinner right now? No.
I don't know
No,
why
I
we
can't.
do it every time, Christy, because we're usually in bed, like at home at this point. Like, I don't know why we think we're late dinner people every time we go on a cruise. We think our personalities are going to completely change when we go on vacation.
Yeah, I know better. I know my personality. I'm starving at like 5:30 every day. Why would I eat a first dinner? I've probably already eaten a first breakfast and a second breakfast. Let's be honest. I don't need to also eat 2 dinners.
All right. So, any other entertainment stuff you guys did? Did you guys do Bat Your Maid or any of the adult stuff?
We did some
Yeah.
trivia.
Yeah, we did go
Did you win?
to a trivia.
No, we didn't even. It was one of the ones where like only a couple people actually get to do it.
Yeah, it was more like a game show setup.
Oh.
So what they did was when you sat down, everyone had like a number at their seat, and they did like a random number pull, and that was like the person who got to go up and answer the questions. But it was really fun to watch. And at the end, they have I think they're doing this at a lot of these game show type things. They have like a surprise character come out, and you can like take selfies with them. So at the end of ours, it was Pluto came out, which was really cool. So that was really fun. We didn't do Match Your Mate because it was at like the same time as the fireworks show. So,
Yeah.
Well,
so we
that's
didn't.
weird.
Yeah, it was weird. We had wanted to do it, but we weren't obviously able to go because we wanted to film the fireworks show.
But yeah.
Did
and
you
we
guys
did-
hear my hot tip once? We talked about this on one of our shows, but you quietly sit off in the corner and play yourself with you and your husband so that you could see how much you really know him, but not like on stage in front of everybody.
Well, it was really funny because 2 of the people we were on the kayak tour with the next day played Match Your Mate, and they told them they had been like married or dating for like 4 years, and they're like
They
not
were.
even a couple. It was, and they're like
They got second.
they got second place.
For their made up answers.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Wow.
They had me wishing we had gone to the show because it sounded like a good time. But
Well, let's run with the characters because I know you like to see the characters around the ships. How was that experience as far as seeing them in either in the atrium, out on Castaway Key? Were they kind of prevalent?
I thought they were
Yeah.
pretty prevalent. Yeah, we pretty much
Every-
any time we went by the atrium,
There
there
were
was some
characters.
sort of meet and greet. There was lots of surprise ones. We saw, was it Pluto randomly on deck 4 one time?
like on the outside, he was going to wherever he needed to be at that time. They're not calling them meet and greets right now.
It's
They're
wave and appears.
appear in waves. So they have the characters there. They have kind of ropes separating you from them, but they are, especially I think these first few where there's not a lot of people. I mean, they're having like full on conversations with the kids who are standing there, asking them questions.
Yeah, the interaction was like always top notch. Like
There's
you pretty much could
photographers.
get one-on-one interaction every
Yeah.
time. Like there were times where we were like on the balcony, but there was no one else around,
They were,
and they
like,
would be like,
talking
"Oh,
up to
hello,
us.
like how you doing up there?"
Yeah. So sometimes they're down on the floor of the atrium. Sometimes they're up on the balconies.
A couple times they
Um,
were on the other side balcony where the elevators were.
So the atrium's the main place where character appear in waves are happening, but they're also doing some surprise pop-ups other places. Oh, one time we were on the pool deck and Captain Hook and Smee were on the stairs, just waving and kind of goofing off with people who are in the pool. Like that was in the middle of the day. Like,
We saw Chip and Dale at one point.
yeah.
Besides that first day, first afternoon when you boarded, was Captain Minnie in her captain wear?
Yes, I believe Mickey and Minnie came out a couple different times throughout the cruise.
And they had different outfits, but they were in their captain outfits as well. So they changed it up several times.
I will note, since we're talking about the characters on the islands, you know, everyone was talking about the like Jeeps and they were going to drive around in that. That was another reason we hung around the family beach because
We thought
we
we would
wanted to
see
see
it.
that. Never happened.
I've seen some people with pictures where
Yeah,
it has happened,
same.
but we never came across it. We did see Mickey and Minnie that first day when we got off, and
Just
we
that
saw
little picture in the corner now.
and we
can
saw
see.
Minnie and Daisy the second day. And I think they switched them out every so often, but we didn't see them on the Jeeps or anything. But I mean, I saw someone in our Facebook group post a picture
with it.
of someone with the Jeep. So it happened, but
Maybe
we
during your
just-
3-hour tour.
could be.
Had to be there.
Yeah.
So, were there also photographers that you guys could get like a couple picture, like we're a couple and we're
Yeah.
gonna stand here and look cute with the backdrop?
All over the place. They had lots of photographers all over the place. They had several times where it was like photographers with backdrops. It was in the app that you could go do. And I know I've seen now where they're letting you take your masks
Yep.
off for those like still pictures. We don't usually do those types of pictures. So we would see what other people were doing, but we didn't really get any. But I think a lot of people were concerned about like the mask and picture thing. So if you don't want to wear your mask in it, you don't have to.
Well, I've got a bunch of questions, a couple from listeners that wrote in before we started this. Anything else, Christy, that we haven't talked about, I guess, on this cruise?
Not that I can think of yet, but I am assuming I will come up with more questions. Oh, how was Palo dinner?
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe we didn't talk about that.
Fantastic. It was basically empty. We had a 6:00 reservation, which must have been like one of the first times. I don't remember when I booked it, but we walked in and we were the only ones in there.
We were the first people to walk in the restaurant.
All the
See,
servers
See, you
were
guys
there.
are first dining people.
All the servers were there, like clapping for us as we walked in.
Aw.
And then it was like one server to a table. Like you had personal attention the
Wow.
whole time.
Wow.
Really cool. And
And-
they sat everyone along the windows, which was, really nice.
Everyone got good seats.
Did you both get the prefix dinner?
I didn't. He did.
I did, yeah.
And I'm really glad I didn't because we've never done Palo dinner. I was assuming the portions were going to be really small. They were huge, and I could not have eaten a prefix dinner. I had a soup and an entree, and that was it.
I will note they're almost pushing you away from the prefix. They're like,
Whoa.
oh yeah, we have this option. They're like, but if you want the good food, they're like you buy a la carte.
So what did you guys get? Or what'd you get, Katie?
I got it was like an Italian white bean soup.
Better
Just
than
like
potato soup?
Comparable, I think. I like soup.
Wait, but no, he said the potato soup. So the potato soup, which
Yeah,
we
it was
don't
better
love,
than the
Better
potato
than the
soup, I
potato
should say.
soup.
oh,
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
than his potato soup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was kind of quiet.
And then that was like $7, and then I got the Pappardelle pasta, just like pasta. It had like a shrimp tail, and then it had other things kind of mixed in with it, but it also had like caviar on it as well. And I think that was like $22. So I mean, that was my meal plus some wine, but that wouldn't have been included in the prefix anyway. So I was like $15 under the prefix price. So
Yeah, and then I did the fried calamari, and then it was supposed to come with shrimp, but they were like, "Oh, we couldn't get the shrimp, so here's like the biggest prong you've ever seen in your life." And it was like battered. It was also battered, so it was obnoxious.
It's gigantic. It's like a lobster.
It was good
almost.
though. Even like the calamari was really good too. I had the arugula salad, just a very basic salad. It was dressed, and then it had Parmesan on it. And then I did I think it's like a 6-ounce filet, which was very, very good.
and that had like potatoes and spinach with it.
Yeah.
And then you did the limoncello tart for dessert.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Did
that
not
tart
order
was
properly.
no.
That tart is amazing. That
So
tart,
good.
yes.
Chocolate souffle, people.
Well, that's why you had.
Chocolate souffle.
That's why there's two of you. One person can get the souffle, the other person gets the lemon tart.
We usually just can't finish 2 desserts is what happens.
Yeah.
I will say that
Fine.
limoncello tart was,
Oh, it was
I
so
think,
good.
the best thing
If I go
that I ate on the
back,
cruise.
Christy, I'm sorry, I'm ordering that. I have had their chocolate souffle before. I liked the lemon tart more.
Well, it's got a cool taste, and after you've
Fine.
had so much food and everything like that, that I think it's
That's
just
what the palate cleanser at the very end, the little limoncello is for. You
I
can have your
know.
cool
That was
taste
good
in a
too.
shot glass.
just keep
They
running
also
with some
brought
more
us,
lemon.
They brought us like a little taster of the gnocchi
Mhm.
right at the beginning. That was very good.
But
So
no
can I-
antipasti, huh?
No, we didn't do any.
No, we didn't do antipasta or any of that.
So can I tell you that I am so happy about the Wish becoming the Palo Steakhouse, because I always want to order that filet that you got, Lake, and I never do. I'm like, I should get something different that I can't do at home. So I cannot wait to be like forced to actually get a steak on board.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it's definitely the only. Well, I mean, I'm sure Remy has some sort of red meat option, but it's like the only place you can get like a good steak that you know is going to be cooked fresh for you.
Good, Christy, you can slam me.
No, I don't understand why you don't order the steak anyway.
I know, because I want to, but it's like I gotta get the fish or the pasta or something like that. I don't
Pasta.
know.
I mean, you can get pasta anywhere.
I know. It's my own psyche. It's weird. I can't talk about it. Anyways, Palo, amazing. I'm glad you guys had a beautiful dinner there. And I guess, what was the vibe of the ship overall? As far as I've seen some pictures where there's just like nobody in the atrium at all. Did you feel like the ship was empty most of the time, or what was your kind of overall feel as you kind of wandered around and had these experiences?
I don't feel like the ship was empty. I mean, there was definitely like people on board. Yeah, things weren't as full as maybe they normally would have been, but there were still usually people out and about.
I would say the weirdest or the most striking, like, oh, this is different kind of situations are probably like we're seeing the characters in the atrium with like not a lot of people waiting. Like that was probably the most stark thing. Other than that, it felt like pretty normal. I know that we didn't go to the shows, but I do know like the shows are probably the only thing that kind of like filled to their capacity that they were allowing. So that's the thing where you might have like missed it if you didn't go early enough. Other than that, I don't think there were any like problems.
Also, they seat you to a spot there, so you were just at the mercy of whatever seat they give you.
And when talking to some of our cast member friends that we met, that was probably where they were getting the most like
Flack.
pushback from people.
So I kind of want to run with that one. Having all the conversations that you did with the cast members, was there kind of a theme, or was there anything that they said that you think we should pass on to our listeners as far as like getting ready to sail, or just kind of overall thoughts that they may have had?
One thing that struck me in talking to them is a lot of changes and rules and all of these things are being communicated to them sometimes minutes before they're communicated to us. And things are changing from cruise to cruise for them, just like they are for us. Go ahead.
I chatted with a cast member that's on the fantasy after the fantasy dropped to the 4-day, and they found out
They didn't know
after
yet.
we did.
Yeah,
It
I
was
don't think when
shortly
we posted
after.
that, I don't think like anyone on the ship really knew, like cast members and whatnot, because our server was on the fantasy for like a week before the shutdown, and he didn't.
He was
he
like a
didn't
new
know.
cast member. He started on the fantasy for a week
Aw.
and then he got moved to the dream, like things like that. A lot of cast members who are on the ship right now, on the dream right now, weren't previously on the dream. A lot
Yeah.
of them have moved over from other ships,
A
but
lot from the Wonder.
there was a cast member
That's
I
a
was talking
big
to. Yeah, it's a big change. There was a cast member I was talking to on Castaway who was telling us that like the week before they were told that they had to wear their masks all the time, like cast members had to, and that was really hard because it was so hot and they were outside. And finally, for the second cruise, they said, okay, like you don't have to wear your mask if you're like outside and not like serving people food. So they're getting changes just like we are
All the time.
So definitely like be patient, ask questions, but don't attack
the
people.
rules either, right? Like as a reminder to our listeners, the cast members don't make the rules and don't make it more difficult for them. Like if you don't want to wear a mask walking
Man.
from restaurant to bar or shopping, you don't have to go on the cruise. Disney understands they are offering people refunds for people who are not comfortable with the rules in their current state, and that is okay for everybody. Like if the rule were to change and it was a completely different situation or people weren't getting tested, then I would reconsider for myself whether I was comfortable with that. So everybody has to say, these are the rules as they are. Do I want to accept them? And then go and have a fantastic time.
Yeah. One thing I was going to say too that we should have brought up as far as things that were different, not the adult pool, but like the main pool is it has like ropes around it and they have like one point of entry and they're only letting a certain amount of people like in at a time, and you have to get out after a certain amount of time to let other people in. Like, that's a different situation that has happened.
And then the adult pool has like the spacer dots around it. I don't really think people were necessarily using it. I don't think the adult pool was ever like packed by any means.
We went in at one point probably when it was at the fullest that I had seen it through the cruise, but I still felt comfortable and we were still able to like have our own space at that point. So we felt okay with that.
Yeah. Going off what Christy said though, there definitely were like some people who were on this cruise who weren't ready to like accommodate the changes. And if that's going to be you, don't go.
Yeah.
Just don't go. There were people complaining about things and I was like, I have zero sympathy for you. Like at one point when we were waiting for the fireworks, we sat on that dot for like 45 minutes. And of course, this like poor family tried to come up next to us and the cast members were like, hey, like you got to be on a dot. And this like the dad or grandpa was like upset about it. He like got like right in my face about it. He's like, I'm here for my vacation and I should be having a good time. I'm like, first off, I don't care if your kids are there. Second of all, back the heck up. Like, so if you're not going to be about like the spacing or being told like where to sit and what to do, don't go.
Yeah.
So were there not enough dots for
No,
the
there was
people?
plenty of
There
dots.
were plenty.
Oh,
It
he
wasn't
just wanted
the
your
dot
dot.
he wanted. Yeah. He wanted our dot, but we got there early and we got that dot.
Okay.
Yeah, like
So
there was
I
literally
would
a
still
dot like
roll
6
in.
feet behind us.
Yeah,
I
and
could still roll in
the
at the
fireworks
last
are in
second.
the sky, so
Right.
you can see them.
Yeah.
They didn't need to look over the edge to see the fireworks, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, like the little kids, like, yeah, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's hard to stop little kids from being like, oh, let's get up against the railing. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't need to hear your input on it.
Amen with all of that, you guys. Thanks for saying that. So I got a bunch of questions. How are you guys doing on time? Okay.
We're fine.
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, so a bunch of questions here. One of them was about the elevator, the magic. Supposedly they had redone the buttons on it. Did they do that with the Dream too, or
Buttons
anything
are
different?
not redone. They have a sign outside the elevators saying either maximum of 2 people or 1 travel party. The first day, people were like very much about it. By the second day, if like it was just us two and one person was like already in it, there would be like, hey, if you're comfortable, like you can get in it with us. Most of the elevators are, I think, bigger than we usually tend to remember them. So you could be on one end of the elevator and like one other person could be on the other end. And that was really
that
not
is
an issue.
true. Those are big elevators.
But if you're thinking like if you have a party of like 3 and then you try to put another party of 3, I could see why
Sure.
that might be.
But people were all being very like kind of communal. Like this was one point where people were all being really communally respectful and being like, if you're comfortable, we're comfortable. And then some people were like, no, we'll wait for the next one. Like it was very like chill. So that was good. We did feel at some point that maybe they had like programmed them to go straight to wherever the button was pushed and not stop. We also had it happen a couple of times where we told it to go somewhere and then it would
It just
not
went
go
somewhere
there
else.
and it would go somewhere else, but there wouldn't be someone waiting to get on. So I don't know if we were haunted, but that
Ghost
happened.
elevator.
That happened a couple of times, but yeah, no changes, I think, other than that to the elevators.
Okay, good to know. And then one other person wanted to know, when you guys go on the Aqua Duck, is Lake in the front or are you, Katie?
I've never
We did
gone on
not
it.
go on the Aqueduct.
I'm not
Katie-
against going on it. It's just never like it's not on my
The
priority
timing
list
just, I don't think ever
of
works for us
things to
either.
do.
You got to get the GoPro
one-
going on the duck.
So
told
my
him
problem
to
is I'm
go
always
do it.
weird. I'm like, okay, what's like what should I use the hand grip? Like, are they gonna tell
Just
me I
gets in
can't
his
have
head.
that on there? I don't know. I should have though. You're right. I brought
It
the
would've-
GoPro for a lot of other things.
It would have
this
been a
trip.
good time to do it because there weren't a lot of lines for it.
It did break down at one point, but that
Oh.
second night it was open till like, or that last night it was open till like 11.
That's
had
my favorite
never-
time to go ahead.
I had never seen like when you don't have a sea day or anything. That last night of the ship is like wild. Like Shutters, like you walk by Shutters during the week, no one there. They had certain kiosks turned off to space you out, but there were like people lined up waiting for kiosks, and there was like 10 cast members there trying to assist people. I was like, this is wild.
Okay, so pro tip, if you're going on a 3-night, get your pictures on the second day and go early on the third day to purchase your pictures.
Yeah.
And then go up onto deck 11 and just ride the Aqueduct around and around and around at night, because it doesn't get any better than that. Did they have a kind of an ending show? Like they usually have that show like at 10 o'clock or 10:30 at night in the atrium? Probably not.
I don't think so.
They didn't have like a show. They did do a another I think it's called an Appear and Wave or See and Wave or something. That was like a say goodbye. And I think what it was, because it said Disney Princess and Disney Friends, I think basically they brought like all the characters they could out for your like last chance to see them type thing.
That'd be cool. Take a picture of.
Yeah. I don't think they did like the special song show thing.
Listener, but Patreon Doug put that he enjoyed your videos and pictures on Instagram, and he got even more excited for his first cruise on the Dream next month.
Thank you, Doug. We hope you have a magical time on your cruise. You can always check out like our full vlogs and stuff on our YouTube channel too. We'll have day 2 of that coming out
You think you'll do it
eventually,
tomorrow?
probably tomorrow.
Yeah,
gotta
do it
do it.
tomorrow so I can watch it.
No pressure with the editing there, right? Okay, so kind of thinking back on this cruise, anything else that we haven't touched on that kind of, I mean, I know there's like so many different probably changes and so many things that we could talk about, but anything else that we've missed, you guys?
Anything big?
I will note, and this is like a general, if you're on a 3-day cruise, obviously people very often ask for like pics and videos of merchandise. However, if you're on a 3-day and you're at port those 2 days, you don't have like a full day to do like shopping and that kind of stuff. So the stores are only open in the evening.
Also, that's what we did the rest of that first night. We figured it out. We looked through the shops.
Did they have anything different, or was it all kind of the stuff that they've had before?
They did have new like 2021 stuff and some new things that I had not seen before. Now I did see someone on the DCL podcast had gone to Disney Springs to the pop-up, and I saw some of the same
They
stuff
had some
at
new
the
stuff.
pop-up that was new. So a lot of the like rainbow DCL stuff, which is some of my favorite stuff that they had. So I was excited to see that maybe I can go grab it there with my discount if I want. But
Yeah. The
Oh, yeah, that's a very
2020
good
stuff
point.
is pretty cool though. It's Captain, Minnie, and Mickey.
2021.
2021. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Did you guys buy anything?
We did not.
We did not.
We
No.
we seriously
one thing?
considered. We spent a lot of money on this. Like
Okay,
our
I get it.
folio was huge. Well, because we also did a book ahead. So
Oh, I was going to ask that one too. So how did that work? Did you do it through the app, or did they have somebody at the desk that you could actually talk to, or was it just everything on the app?
everything was on the app, and
Yeah.
you can only do the placeholder. You
Okay.
can't do like a specific
A full
cruise.
book, which was something I was upset about because I love that physical book. We
Oh,
love
I
to sit
know.
there and like circle potential cruises.
Yeah.
It's just so nice to like see it all in one place, opposed to like when you go on the website, you got to click more info to see the dates, and you got to click
Yeah.
to the next cruise, and it's like one port different.
Yeah.
The Castaway Club gift is the same, to answer the question. Same sling bag.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah, I
like
think I'm gonna post in my cruise group and offer it to somebody.
I left
on my
mine on the
cruise.
ship. And,
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
like
so we
kno- I,
used
like,
it at
knowingly
Castaway.
left it on the
It
ship.
got sandy and it started to
Oh.
break already. So we
Oh,
were-
ours,
geez.
ours was like it was already like broken when we got it, but it wasn't like
it was like the
unusable.
inside pocket wasn't
Yeah,
stitched well.
yeah.
Oh,
We've
man.
got what, 3 of them here already.
Mhm.
I've got one that I use at the gym actually, and I've used it for a couple of years. It's been awesome. I like that bag that they had for a while, the kind of the beach
gold
bag.
saw
I
people
love the
using
beach bags.
that, and
They're
I
not
Yeah.
was
giving those
jealous.
out anymore though.
I need them.
That beach bag was awesome. I love that.
I
We
have
still
a few
use
of
that.
those.
Yeah.
Mhm. Me too.
All right.
Maybe
so
that'll come back someday.
maybe Chrissy will do a giveaway someday.
I will say my
Yeah.
two
Should I
favorite
save-
pieces. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Should I save my sling and just give it away to a podcast listener?
Yeah,
Just
because
go
I
in
got
the
a
app and
couple.
do that.
Yeah, if you want to, don't feel obligated.
Oh, I'm giving it to somebody. So
you don't want.
I already have 2, like one that we've used and the backup, because I don't want to get that mug, that coffee mug. Remember, we got so many of them back in the day. I don't know if you
yeah.
guys got them. That I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I can give these away, but now mine broke, and if
Oh.
only I had. So I need the sling bag so I
Keep
can have
one
a
backup, right?
Got
Yeah.
to keep one backup, but I don't
Hey.
need several backups.
All right. Well, I guess as we kind of finish up, how about disembarkation? Anything about that?
Easy.
Easy.
That one's pretty similar to how it's been in the past. You get the luggage tag with your color. They tell and they announce when to go off. They have they give you a time to go to breakfast if you like. They have express walk off if you want to use that. And you go through the same. If you're doing Port Canaveral, you go through the same luggage pickup customs area. You don't use the escalators. They have everyone go down
the ramp. And there's space. If it were to be full, there's like spacers out there, and then waiting in the line to go through customs, they have the space markings.
Was there a line for you guys?
Not really, no.
Our breakfast time was 8:35. I think we left around 9, a little after 9, and it seemed like a lot of people had already gotten off.
Yeah, so
and I
that's
guess
easy.
I'm guessing the other realistic part is once you got off, you still have that sinking feeling of we just got off the dream. I want to go
Yeah.
back on.
Those 3 nights are quick. You definitely we were trying, we had all these things starred that we were going to do. And then it was just like, you can't do it all.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
but
That's why you
hopefully
book.
we
That's
can
why you
get
book that
on
bounce
track.
back.
Yeah.
We did book
Well,
that.
I'll
And we've
tell you
got,
what.
we got some things in the works.
We were sitting there at breakfast when we saw about those fantasies. Oh no.
Cover me. I'm reloading.
Okay, can you still they can still hear
We
us,
can.
though.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
still hear you.
I was ready.
It's just pure chaos over here. When that news about the fantasy 4 days came out, and we were like, maybe we could do one of those in September. So
So are you going to try?
if we're gonna look, we're serious. Sorry, we're sitting in a very funny way right now. We're seriously gonna look and see if there's one that
there we go.
works with our schedules.
Yes,
if
do
hits-
it. And can we please have you take over Instagram again?
Sure.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. I'd like
That
to
would
book that
be-
in advance.
That's also very tempting because we don't have the fantasy yet. So it would be like a very
Yes.
easy way
Oh.
for us to get it.
Yeah. So we're
Yeah,
looking at the
and it's not-
fantasy in a 4-day because like the long ones are hard for us to do sometimes without like very advanced planning. So
And it's $1 billion.
yeah, that too. That's a problem.
I think that's kind of what we're waiting for, is to see where this is
price.
gonna price at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the perfect time for you guys to do that. Okay, so 2 other questions. What was the vibe of the Facebook group you guys were in afterwards? People pretty happy about the cruise?
Afterwards, definitely, yeah. I think anyone in the Facebook group, is someone who was going to come in and be like appreciative of it. There were some people who were doing back-to-backs before that, and they were constantly posting changes, updates, answering questions. So that was very, very useful if you were not in your Facebook group. Probably the most useful the Facebook group's ever been for us. That's for certain.
Yeah. We did see there was a thread that got going the day of embarkation with people who are like having severe like delays with the testing results.
Yeah, people waiting like 2 hours to get their results.
And they did tell us that the computers went down and that was like causing some delays there, but I don't know if that's like actually what happened or what.
Yeah.
But
We are definitely prepared for that. What I am curious about, and I don't know if you know after the fact, but parking there, can we just go back to our car? Like do our tasks, give them our stuff, wait for our email.
you do everything in your car. You don't even get out of your car.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
I'm not
Even-
100%, but it looked like from the way they had the flow of the cars and the testing for the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 was parking, and it seemed like people were parked and waiting in their cars.
okay, perfect. Because yeah, I mean, if I'm going to wait someone for 2 hours, I'd just rather be in my own little bubble in my car. It
They
doesn't
have
to-
those tents and stuff. Those seem to be just for drop-offs and like Disney transfer
Yeah.
shuttle.
There is because we didn't do it, there's a small chance we could be wrong, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you will report back and yell at us if we
No,
are.
I would never yell at you. I
You
appreciate
can tag us
everything.
in your story and be like, Mouse Jim was wrong.
No, I have to sit here with the people.
Question canceled.
Mouse Jane canceled. All right. Well, before we get out of here, I'd be remiss without asking you guys, because you guys haven't been on since the Disney Wish came out. Let's run with that for just a couple of seconds. So we'll skip the Disney Genie. Somebody else can cover the Disney Genie. Christy, you can cover it or something like
I
that.
don't wanna
Maybe
Someone
cover
can
it.
tell you it's breaking news.
it's breaking
that
news.
this thing that they've said was coming is coming, and it's going to have features that we all knew it was going to have. Shock
Exactly.
Pikachu meme.
So what are you guys excited about with the Disney Wish, with all the announcements and everything like that? And yes, you can admit with me that the Keg and Compass is where you want to be every night.
Yeah.
I mean, one of our favorite parts about getting on a ship, especially a new ship, is just exploring, seeing
Yeah.
what's new,
I like
discovering the nooks and crannies.
I like having something new to explore, something in a different style to kind of admire, not that we don't like still admire the Dream, and if we were to go back on the Wonder, but they're pretty similar. They're built, close enough together so they're similar. I'm excited for the outdoor rainforest room spa area. I don't think
Yes,
they're
that
calling it
looks cool.
rainforest room, but that whole outdoor situation looks like right up my alley. And then what's the character? I'm excited for the Marvel dining. I know that's not a thing for everybody, but I think it's gonna look really cool, something different.
I mean, I think we're going to see like a big step up in all the dining.
Yeah.
Some more maybe creative dishes to go along with some of these more unique themes.
I'm excited for how like substantially different it is from the other ships. I'm
Yes.
glad that they didn't try to play
rinse
it.
and repeat it.
Yeah. I'm glad that there was some innovation.
Yeah. And it seems like they've taken a lot of the things that they've learned. Like, obviously, we all know Tiana's was like a big revelation in dining. Between even the food quality and the show, I think you can really see that into all of their locations. They've kind of taken that to account. But people still want, maybe that quiet place like 1923. Yeah. So, and we're excited because we're going to see you guys, I think, right? That's still all.
That's still on?
We're all still accounted for here.
We are all still accounted for.
We
All
are
right, us
4 days
too.
on the Wish.
That means you get to live. You can be our
Correspondence on the ground.
correspondent still. 'Cause you're
Back to you,
very good
Christy.
at it. You're Very,
Well, we can
very
all
good.
we can all co-op that
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Might get on a few cruises before that so we can practice. and
Yeah, we
get really good.
we do have a magic sailing in our sights for after Princess weekends.
It's a Marvel
good.
Day at Sea out of Miami. I'm gonna try and go for it.
So you are a Marvel fan. I like the idea that they've got Ant-Man too, because I think it's like the comedy that he provides. And do they say they're just gonna be the Wasp too, right?
Yeah, it's Ant-Man
Yeah.
and the Wasp.
Yeah.
If Paul Rudd just wants to show up on the cruise,
Okay, I accept that.
yeah,
I can get behind
cool with that. Yeah, I thought you might. Yeah, that's word. Or Evangeline Lilly, she's cool too. But Paul Rudd would be great.
Just want to note that Chris is like angry fisting us from somewhere. He does not like Paul Rudd.
Oh, okay.
For real? How?
More for me.
I don't know. You can ask him.
Yeah,
Bring
I'm
it up
gonna
next
ask
time.
him. We'll have to ask him about that. I mean,
I love Paul Rudd.
Does
The
he just think
comedy.
he's overrated, or
I think he said he just has like one flat acting
Oh, no.
style.
Paul Rudd is just
Oh.
Paul Rudd, and anything that he is
and
in.
that's
I agree.
fine. And I am still. I support all of that.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Well, thank you guys so much for taking over Instagram. Thank you so much for spending so much time with us tonight. And as we get out of here, I want to give you guys a chance to put a huge plug out for MouseGen, your guys' YouTube channel. You've got 2 videos up already for this cruise, and I know more to come. Why don't you tell everybody how they can get a hold of you guys?
Yeah, so best way, like you said, is our YouTube channel. That's MouseGen, MOUSEGEN. It's sitting right in front of you on the video right there. But spelled it out for those audio listeners. And then we also do Instagram, that's mouse.gen, and then Facebook, MouseGen. But the YouTube is kind of our home port right now for all of our content.
Yeah.
Like I said, lots of fun vlogs and stuff coming out from this cruise. And also we finally have like Run Disney content to talk about. We actually have to record a video soon about some of the updates and stuff they just
we
announced.
actually have finally gotten to the point too where we have like a backlog of content we're trying to get videos out for. So like we should have consistent stuff. We have some dining reviews.
This is what always happens, like fall into like winter is like really great for us content wise. And then we hit summer and we're like, it's too hot to do anything.
Yeah.
It's like there's no races.
Well, it's been a dry year, so we're back.
Yep.
That's
Well,
excellent.
I'm excited for you guys to be out at Princess, right? Wine and Dine is the next
Wine
one.
and Dine, yep.
Wine and Dine, and then Marathon Weekend. All of us are going to be running out there, so excited for that as well. So
Getting the
I think
gang
we're
back
gonna
together.
have to put together some kind of get together while we're down there for Marathon Weekend, definitely for sure. So, all right, well, as we get out of here, once again, Lake, Katie, thank you so much for all you guys have done for us. Thank you so much for this trip report, and I guess we will see you soon on the Disney Fantasy as she sails away from Port Canaveral on that
Maybe.
4-day.
Maybe.
No,
That's a big maybe right
You
now.
get there though. He just put you on it. He just said that's what's happening.
We can just show up and be like, it's there.
Exactly.
I've thought about doing
Go
that a
to
couple
Ron Jon
times,
and then go
driving
home.
down to what is that, Getty Park.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that park right on the end there, and just like
Yeah.
watching the ships. Just a long drive to just do that though.
And you have to pay, so
Yeah, it's
All
not
the
that bad
tolls.
though.
that's true.
Oh, the toll. Yeah, you're right.
All right. Well, as we get out of here, once again, thanks you guys, and hopefully that sailing works for you on the Fantasy. And Christy, you will be on the Beautiful Disney Dream in 2 days. We look forward to all of
We're
those
so
videos and
excited for
pictures.
you.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
I don't know
All
about
right, well-
videos. I'm not going to do videos. I don't do videos so much, but I will take some pictures and eventually post them.
I mean, you
would
will
say-
have like you have to actually go through the testing process, so that's going to be like a big thing.
Like
yes,
different-
I will post for sure, and I will post immediately after. I do tend to post more on Pack Your Pixie Dust, so I would tell people to follow Pack Your Pixie Dust on Instagram, but I will for sure post about testing on Instagram, and I think so. Here's the thing: I don't think our Instagram is linked to our Facebook, and there is some problem.
No, it's not.
It's not, because Steve set up Facebook, I set up Instagram, and I don't think I could ever get them to link. So what's probably going to happen is I will talk about the testing on Instagram, and I will do it on Pack Your Pixie Dust, and I will link it to my Facebook Pack Your Pixie Dust. So if you're only on Facebook, probably follow Pack Your Pixie Dust on Facebook, And then Steve may eventually share my post, but I don't think he ever does that. But he might, or I might remember, somebody might remember to share it into DCL Podcast on Facebook, but I don't know for sure if that's going to happen. So there you go. That's my disclaimer.
If it's a half moon on Wednesday, I'll make sure I get it on. No, I will make sure that I definitely.
It is a
I will
half moon right now.
It is, I know. And it is Wednesday, isn't it, too? Look at that. All right. So it will be on Facebook for us. So, anyways, all right. As we get out, once again, thanks, Katie, Lake, for coming on and doing this.
Yeah,
Super appreciate it. All the best to you guys, and look forward to seeing you on the Fantasy or sometime soon on Disney Cruise Line.
Yep.
Yay.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.